What up, familia? Get ready. We got one of the dopest artists in the building right now. And if you didn't know, now you know. She became the second act in history behind, I don't know if you heard of these guys, the Beatles, to hold both the number 1 and number 2 spots simultaneously with her first 2 U.S. Billboard Hot 100 hits, Fancy and Problem. Now she has the most added song this week in Top 40 Radio by the name of Team. You saw her crush it live on Jimmy Fallon. Iggy Azalea.
Hi.
Welcome, Iggy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Iggy, for being that song I can't get out of my head while I'm trying to go to sleep.
I heard you humming it when I came in here, and I was like, yes.
It's just like,
it's true.
All day,
Mission
every day.
accomplished.
It's like,
hey.
got me.
Gotta do the head bob.
Yes.
You
Do a
know,
little nod.
once we heard that song, and I would have to say that I admire you because you're one of the most honest artists, just reading up on you, getting to know you even more out there. At the same time, you're one of the artists that people come at the most for many things.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you to break out into your sophomore album that hopefully will be dropping by June?
Yes, it will be, because it's done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you on your first single for you to do the hook on your own, to do the verses on your own?
For me, I think looking at like the bigger picture, I just think it was important for me to have my own voice without anybody else adding anything. I wanted to be able to say and tell my message, and for that to just resonate and just be me. And that was really important. But it was also important on another level for me to show growth and to show that I can carry my own song and all those other things. But I think mostly it was just about me wanting to have this message for people and feeling like I need to be the one to be the messenger for this, not me and somebody else, just me.
And is it more to prove it to yourself or any naysayers out there, like the haters?
Well, I think it's a little of both.
Did you kind of feel a little validation with that too, performing on Jimmy Fallon, like stepping out there? You're by yourself.
It was
just, like,
scary.
showcasing
It's
it
funny
now.
because I think everybody that I work with was like, "Why are you nervous? You've already done this a million times." And I felt like, I kind of feel like this is the first time in a way because I'm singing. I've never sung live on TV before. I don't have anybody there to bounce off of. It's just me the entire time. So I was a little bit nervous, but I think I took it pretty well for the first go around. Like, I feel confident about it for first performance.
The reviews have been raving, and
I
we
haven't
saw
seen
it personally.
it yet,
What are you talking about?
I've been at it since like 4 o'clock this morning, so I haven't been online to know, like, is it good? I have
No,
so I'm glad it's going good.
It was really good.
It's been really good. And I think that even when the song dropped, there was mixed reviews initially, but then after seeing your performance last night, a lot of people, of course, it's always the critics or whatever, but the reviews have gone like up through the roof.
Oh,
It's
that's good.
Yeah,
That
coming
makes me
from
feel
you.
good. I mean, I'm always a bag of mixed nuts. Even with Fancy, that was number 1 for 7 weeks, and it had mixed reviews. Everyone can't love everything, but I'm glad people are really enjoying Team.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving that to us. Speaking of Team, the lyrics on the hook are like, "Baby, I got me, baby, I got me, and that's all I need." So, the 2015 was definitely a challenging year for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of your team, in regards to Team of Friends, how has that changed in the last year, if it has?
I never really kept too many people close. I've always been very careful about who I really called friends. So I don't think there were any friends that I genuinely believed were friends that weren't. But there were certainly tons of, like, fair weather friends. But I don't think I ever thought those people were really my friends.
Who would you consider your
begin
starting
with.
5 on your team right now?
Top 5 lineup? We're like taking it back to MySpace days. Like top 10. Who's in my
that
top
was a
10?
top 8.
I mean, there's
Top
all,
8,
those
yeah.
top 8. Yeah,
It
yeah.
changed. You could do top 5, then it went to like top 22 if you really couldn't make your mind up.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
People used to get mad about that, remember?
They did,
I
right?
don't want to get anyone mad with my top 5 right now that I'm about to bust out. Top 5 people you guys would know?
Yeah.
Well, of course, Demi's up there. I love Demi. She's definitely up in my top 5. Tip's got to be in there, T.I., just because I know I can call him for anything that I want and he'll like make it happen.
We can leave it as top 3.
Yeah, the
We're
other,
straight.
you know what? I'm like one of those people like everybody else that just like has mostly normal friends.
Yeah.
That I had before and I still do. I love Ari, or I loved working with Jennifer. She was really awesome.
Which Jennifer?
Lopez.
Oh, good times.
Hello,
oh,
booty.
yeah, the
Hudson.
booty.
I loved working with Jennifer Hudson too. I loved working with all of them, but all these girls are so
Yeah.
busy working all the time. I don't
Yeah.
know how they do it. They never stop working, so it's hard to actually like have that friendship or get to hang out because it's like never stopping, constantly always doing something. Like with Demi, of course, she lives down the street from me, so we kind of are able to, when it's like 10 o'clock at night, be like, well, just come to my house and like let's just watch some TV. Whereas I can't do that with the other girls.
What do you and Demi watch when she comes over your pad?
We watch all kinds of stuff. The last thing I saw her a couple of days ago when we watched the murder rap, the Biggie and Tupac murder documentary.
Yeah, the documentary.
Yeah, she fell asleep. I was going to take a video of her and expose her, but I didn't. She was like, meh, 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 talking to herself. I was like, I'm very tempted right now.
She talks to herself in her sleep?
She was kind of like mumbling to herself. Yeah, she was like, meh.
What would she say? Would she say like Wilmer,
She's
Wilmer?
talking in tongues. I don't know.
Valderrama.
She tried to sell me her beanbag. I was like, girl, I'm all full. I don't need no beanbags. If anyone's looking for a beanbag, Demi, I got you, girl. I'm advertising for you right here. Demi is selling a beanbag, you guys.
It's a new Craigslist.
I love like the whole celebrity problems, right? Damn, I'm trying to get rid of this
She's like,
beanbag
do you
though.
need this bean? I promise you the beanbag's like as big as this entire room. And I'm like, where the hell do you put? She's like, that's why I need to get rid of it. I was
Who
like,
gave it to her?
I don't know. It's huge.
Like one
she
of
has
those-
a beanbag as big as like a king bed. And it's for sale.
And now we get a commission too. We're
yeah,
straight.
exactly. Thank you for the advertising.
We got you, Iggy. We're
I
here for you,
appreciate
girl.
it.
We're on your team. You know what I'm saying? Iggy, what would you say were more challenging times for you when you were trying to make it? Because so many times artists are like, man, if I can just make it,
Yeah.
it'll be all good.
Yes,
What was
we're
more
sailing.
challenging? You trying to make it, or this past year where it was more difficult after you made it?
That's a difficult question. I think both are hard for different reasons.
Yeah.
Of course, once you do make it and you're under the scrutiny of everybody, then that is tough. At least when you're not making it privately, you kind of, I think, have a little bit more respect factor. You're not like getting dogged every single day. So
Yeah.
maybe your failure. Now I'm gonna have it be tongue-tied. Failures.
Yes.
Might not like resonate with you as much as they would if you were successful, because they're getting shoved in your face all the time. So that is nice, but it's also nice to have success.
Yeah.
They both are good and bad.
Because maybe a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know that. Obviously, you were born in Australia, and
yeah.
like myself,
It's my 10th year here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
baby.
Decade. I'm on my decade year.
But, you
July
know-
4th this year, I'll be a decade.
Ooh, that's
On
a
July
celebration.
4th.
Yeah.
That's a good day to celebrate your 10th year
That's how I always remember
in the
it,
U.S.
because it was July 4th.
But it is a challenge, you know, coming
That's
from an
tough.
immigrant family myself from Latin America. You come in here sometimes with or without a visa, and you're just trying to make it. I mean, what's your situation right now?
I have a visa. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I've been on a visa for the last like 5 years now.
Cool.
Work visa. So as long as I'm employed,
You're doing
I'm
all
good
I think you're gonna be all right with that, Iggy.
just gotta keep my job.
Iggy, what did you have to do to be able to save up and like make that trip from Australia to the U.S. when you were 16?
I had a lot of jobs. I worked like a lot of jobs at the same time, and I wasn't. At first, I was in high school saving, working on the weekends, and then I ended up dropping out of high school. I was supposed to be doing homeschooling and working full time, but I didn't end up doing any of my work. So I essentially I dropped out, really.
Yeah.
But I worked in a supermarket, bagging people's groceries, and I also worked as a cleaning maid at the same time.
Wow.
So I would go and clean people's houses that had like checked out of vacation homes. And yeah, I'd work in a supermarket. Those are my two main jobs. I worked in a CD store back when people still bought CDs.
Oh, there you go.
For a little bit. That was probably my coolest job. But you know
Yeah.
what? you used to get like your finger shredded up from having to stick it in the circle in the middle of the CD
to open it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I used to have band-aids all over my fingers from having to stick my fingers in the middle.
It was
of
a mission
the
trying to
CD.
take off that plastic, yo.
I
It's like
know,
you were like
every
fighting,
time.
rumbling on the ground and whatnot.
Yeah, I got fired from that job though. I was too lax. Like you know when you have a cool boss and then you get a little bit too relaxed and they're like, no, you're fired though.
You're like, wait,
you
but
got
you were
too
cool with
relaxed.
everything else.
Yeah, exactly. I got too like lazy. I was coming to work too late and I was just like eating on the job and I was getting way too relaxed and I got
Eating
fired.
on the job.
I didn't officially get fired, but I got fired. She was like, here's your last paycheck. Yeah, bye. So
That's dope.
I lost the fun job and then I ended up working at the supermarket and cleaning homes.
Iggy, because we love you, we have a surprise for you.
Okay, yes. I'm scared.
It has to do with somebody on your team,
Okay.
one of your best friends,
Yes.
and it has to do with a very special moment for you in 2015.
Okay.
And we want you to relive that. And I don't know if you've ever heard her talking about this, but here it is, and it has to do about you and your man, Nick Young. Listen to this.
Okay.
Nick's a little crazy. Like the way that he proposed, or he got down on one knee and was like, "Will you rock with me?" And she's like, "You have to ask the question. Like that's not how you ask it." And he was like, "Will you marry me?" She was like, "Yeah." So he's a clown and she's hilarious. And seeing the two of them together is really funny. So I can't imagine what the wedding's gonna be like.
That is true. I was like, I did not just have you say, "Will you rock with me?" That cannot be the story I tell our kids.
And that's how you get
And
your man to
then
act right.
Your dad, he said, "Will you rock with me?" I was like, you gotta say, "Will you marry me?" Like officially.
That was your girl, Demi Lovato. She was hanging out with us, and you could see
She's
the
awesome.
glow in her face of how happy she is for you
Oh,
and that
yeah,
very
she's the
special
best.
moment.
She needs to get engaged. Wilma's got to get on it.
What do you want to say to Wilmer right now?
Slipping.
Shout him out.
You're slipping.
Yo, she said that with like a
Come on,
fierce
man.
face.
Have you seen Demi? She's bomb.
She
Iggy,
is.
You are the best friend anybody could have. Listen to that. She's
She
trying to
is.
help Demi sell her huge ass beanbag that's the size of a room
And
and,
get her
trying to
a
get
ring.
that ring on it for her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's waiting for. I guess maybe he's trying to sell the beanbag. Listen, if I sell you this beanbag, you better buy Demi a ring.
There you go.
I
That
want to
smells
be
man.
engaged together. We're girls. Come on.
But that's like the first time girl has ever really said that, because my friends would freak out if one person got engaged and then another person got engaged within like the same few months. They're like, it's my moment.
Oh no, I don't care about that. It'd be fun. I would have someone to talk about with all that kind of lame wedding stuff and not feel weird about it.
Iggy, do you want a huge wedding or small wedding? What do you, Nick? What do you and Nick
I want a
want?
small. I prefer a small wedding,
Yeah.
honestly, because I have like I don't have a lot of. Well, nobody should have a lot of close friends, or they're not really very close, are they?
Right.
But I just like to have close friends, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to invite my family and really, really close friends. But Nick, he's been on like a million basketball teams. He
All of them are
knows
his
all
friends.
his coaches. He's still in touch with like his 6th grade coach.
Wow.
Still like writes him letters, and they like so he just. Nick's really a social butterfly. You'd understand. I moved countries, and then I moved around to a billion different cities. So
Yeah.
I don't have like that. Nick is from California, and he grew up there, so he has friends that he's known his whole life, and he has a wide circle. I'm a transplant, so I don't have all of those
Yeah.
people to invite. So I would have been happy. We just something small, but he really wants to invite. Like I said, his 2nd grade teacher, his 3rd grade
Yeah.
teacher, his 4th grade teacher,
Do you-
his
He
5th
still
grade
keeps in
teacher,
touch.
his
That's
6th
awesome.
grade
That's
teacher.
hilarious.
So they'll all be there, and it'll be good.
Awesome. So the wedding's going to be at the Staples Center in LA.
Basically,
Yeah, right?
yeah, basically. But I'm cool. You know what? I think a lot of people's fun too. It makes for a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I don't mind either way. I'm just like, you're paying for their food.
Especially with all those people
All those
eating.
people. Man,
yeah.
food is expensive.
It is.
Like, for real.
Yo, Iggy, you got to do it Latino style. We have padrinos and madrinas, which are people that are close to us, aunts, uncles, and they help pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, but then when you let people help pay for the things, then they want to have their opinion.
Yeah,
Oh,
screw
yeah,
that.
true fact.
Not on your wedding day.
No, girl.
Yeah, they'll be like, well,
true.
I'm paying for it, but these chicken wings. have to be.
Chicken wings at Iggy's.
Oh, no.
Wedding.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, I love the way you light up when you speak about Nick. You know what I'm saying? Even Demi, when she was talking about you and Nick being together in that moment when he proposed to you, it's apparent that Nick's been a stronghold for you in your life.
Yeah,
and,
definitely. Well, he's like, that's my buddy.
and he's been like your rock in your life.
Yeah. For sure.
What do you say right now? As you know, on Monday, some accusations came out about Nick Young supposedly harassing.
He was heckling an old lady.
Some young lady and her mom, some old lady. Obviously, he's come out to deny
it. Hey, that's part of being a basketball player. There's always something. Like I said, digital distortion. What can you do?
It applies to Nick too.
It applies to us all.
Nick's denied it. Lakers are backing him up on this. I mean, what do you do with these kind of situations? You know, and this time he's going through it.
I think it makes it a little bit, for me, when people come out and say things and then like have their entire press like routine planned, where they're like, and now I'm doing 700 interviews about the one time you catcalled me out of a car, supposedly. To me, I think, for me, that takes a bit of the potential like authenticity of the story away. Obviously, I'm here in New York, so I don't know. I believe my man, and Nick's like a super nice guy. It's just not really like the kind of thing he would do. But yeah.
Well, thank you for talking about that, and I love the fact you got your man's back, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, why? It's not really something to deny if you did. It just seems silly to me. The whole thing is, I'm just like, that's weird.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Iggy, we're super stoked for you. I mean, you've been through 2015. You got your new single Team.
Yes.
The album dropping in June.
Yep.
Like, I have a feeling the best is yet to come for you.
I
it really
hope
is.
so.
Especially,
you know what? I like came into this really not knowing what. I really didn't expect anything. I was like, I'm just gonna approach it like starting fresh, and I think it feels good. I have a lot of hope for Team.
Absolutely. Any awesome collaborations that you would like to talk to us about? Or
I can't reveal the collaborations yet, but I have 3. There are 3 collaborations. On my
male
album.
or female? At least give us that.
2 male and 1 female.
Are they new collaborations?
New like what?
Like
new
you
artists?
like you haven't done collaborations with them in the past?
Yeah. You know what? I'm like a firm believer in keeping it fresh. I loved all the collaborations I did, but I don't really want to rehash anything. My album wasn't that long ago, and I think like those collaborations were so great and so big that you kind of have to sort of like let them breathe a little bit, or else any collaboration I did, say with Ariana after Problem, I think people would just compare it to Problem because we loved Problem so much. Or with me and Charlie, I think I would love to write 100 collaborations with Charlie, but they'd all get compared to Fancy right now. So I think a bit more time has to pass before I can revisit any of those collaborators.
That's a good look. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
For being so open, upfront. You got some good stuff here, Familia. We're selling a beanbag.
Yep. Selling a beanbag, getting Demi engaged so that we can have Pinterest accounts together and make mood boards of our wedding.
And Iggy's wedding potentially could be at Staples Center or LA Coliseum.
I'm having a Staples Center wedding. Yes, apparently all of LA is invited.
Well, if Wilmer hurries up, then you and Demi could get married at the same time.
Yeah.
Dream.
Iggy, can you imagine you guys getting pregnant at the same time, you and Demi?
Well, I guess. I don't know. You know what? Me and Demi have never even talked about babies. I don't even know how many babies she wants to have, or what their names are going to be. We just talk about dogs. We can have puppies together.
There you go.
You're gonna play a stepmother role though, right, with Nick's son?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The word stepmom is weird to me. My parents aren't together, and I grew up with a stepmom and a stepdad, and for me, I never felt like those guys were trying to be my parents or trying to step in and take the place of my mom. And Nick's son's mother is like awesome. She's a great mom, so I don't want to ever take it away by saying like, oh, I'm someone's stepmom. But I just think of myself like I'm the cool like friend, cool aunt type.
Like a supporting role, right?
Yeah, I'm just the supporting role.
I love it. Like, you're just singing the hook. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just singing the hook.
You're not doing it all. Maybe just doing the verse, but the mom is doing the rest.
Me and Nick's son, we like have our own thing together. He really likes cooking, so we always cook. Like we make little mini pizzas together and stuff, and we always cook stuff. He cooks. Every time he comes over, we cook pancakes and eggs, and I like tricked him into liking eggs because I told him they were dinosaur eggs.
No.
And I'm like, these are dino eggs. You need to eat them. Like, you're going to get really strong if you eat dinosaur eggs. And so now he loves eggs.
And he still thinks they're dinosaur
like
eggs?
Yeah.
That's all. Can you imagine him going to school like, yo, I just grew up the dinosaur. Thanks to my girl who's on my team, Iggy.
Yeah, you gotta trick kids into eating stuff. So now I think when I have a kid of my own one day in the future, I'm gonna have like a lot of tricks up my sleeve of how to make the food appealing.
Well, thank you, Iggy.
Thank you.
We love you,
having me.
girl. We wish you the absolute best.
No, thank you so much.
And we want to start contributing to your wedding with these amazing cupcakes for you.
You got me a cupcake?
Got your cupcake,
oh
girl.
My God, thank you.
Got you lots of cupcakes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she just stuck her tongue out and was like
a little puppy.
Yes, I'm like panting like a dog right now.
To celebrate
Thank you so much for these.
all the great
Seriously.
things that are happening in your life.
Anybody that knows me knows that I will eat all of these.
Good.
Get
I'll share one with you guys if you like, but I will
Done.
also eat them all.